Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Facebook Live on the Wealth for Life page. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take you through one of the designs that we actually build for our investors, and to just talk about a little bit more, not so much about numbers and investing, but more about the type of product that you need to be building when you're investing. Now the key thing I want to articulate here is that when you're building a house, or you're renovating a house, or anything you're creating, you've got to build to the taste of the market, okay? One of the mistakes that a lot of investors make is that they start to build a house more so to their own taste, okay? Learn from my mistake. One of the first houses I actually built was purely based on my own taste. I paid no attention to what the market wanted because I thought I knew what's best. Now I can tell you, I went to sell that property later on in Elsternwick, suburb of Melbourne, Victoria, Elsternwick, and whilst we did well at auction, we got nowhere near what we could have got as a sales price because it was my own taste. I didn't pay attention to the market. So this is one of the houses that we design. So if you have a look at it, you've got a real wow factor here in the kitchen. But the most important thing to understand, grab that, Adrian. That's actually a really good pick. One of the most important things to understand is that when you're building, you've got to survey the market, okay? So you've got to build to the taste of the market. What you want, right, is nowhere near as important as what a purchaser or a tenant wants, okay? So in different areas that you're actually building in, or you're purchasing in or renovating in, just make sure you understand the market, because what the taste is for a market in, say, in the western suburbs will be different to the taste of the market in the eastern suburbs, and so on. So survey the market and understand what they want. Real estate agents are a good source, property managers are a good source, and make sure you're building to the taste of the market, because what that does, it gets you maximum sale price later on should you want to sell it. More importantly too, if you're going to hold on to it, which I recommend you do as an investor, it gets you maximum rental price, okay? So there are certain things you need to include in a property, okay? Make sure it's aesthetically beautiful, okay? Human beings are the ones that actually occupy these properties, right? And it's important that when they come into the property, they actually get that wow factor. You create that wow factor so that they actually enjoy being in the property. Now it sounds simple, but it's something that's always overlooked, all right? Now as an investor, right, we're taught to like not overcapitalize, right? And I certainly concur with that. When you're building, don't overcapitalize on the construction, okay? So you don't actually want to spend too much on the construction. So what you're going for is that Versace look on a Kmart budget, okay? If possible. So survey the market, really understand what the market wants, right? Do they want, they want a particular type of floor plan, a particular type of layout, right? A really good floor plan is one that's very, very practical, lots of open space, and go for as much natural light as possible. So depending on where you're building and what you're building, like a lot of your natural light could actually be compromised, okay? So where possible, go for as much natural light as possible as opposed to a lot of lighting. One, it's expensive, and two, it takes a bit to run too. So here's one of the bedrooms. Yeah, good. So a little breakout area here, something as simple as this, right? Gives, if you understand the market, right? Let's say a house like this is built more for, say, a mum and dad with, one or two kids, right? And it gives the parents a retreat or somewhere to kind of enjoy, some peace and quiet away from the kids if the kids want to be in the lounge area and watch some TV or play. So these are really practical, and they get good value for money, okay? So the things that you should be spending your money on in a house, obviously, is the bathrooms and the kitchens, okay? Don't spend too much on the bedrooms, right? As long as you've got some walk-in robes, good lighting, good sized bedrooms where you can get a good double bed in there, and they're not too pokey or compact, you do quite well, okay? Also understand, like in the areas that you're building in, right? Make sure you understand, like a 3-bedroom house, if you're building houses, a 3-bedroom homes are the preferred product. It was a 4-bedroom homes, okay? I've known people in the past they'll use their own taste Come and have a look at this. This is an amazing bedroom. They'll use their own taste, right? Or use, based on what they like, and they get the floor plan wrong. They get the number of bedrooms wrong, and then they find out later on, one, they can't rent it out, and two, they can't sell it. So survey the area, find out what people want and what they'll pay a premium for, okay? Talk to really good real estate agents, talk to property managers, go out and have a look at open for inspections and listen to what people are saying when they're walking through the properties, right? Find out what they want, and then you just design a floor plan to the taste of the market for that area. It guarantees you premium rent and it guarantees you premium sale price later on. Okay? If you have a look at this, this is the master bedroom. Really neutral colours here. Okay? Don't go too. Keep it neutral. Don't go too fancy with different colour schemes on the walls. Again, whilst you may like that, you risk the fact that you may put somebody off when they walk through the property, okay? And, it's that old saying that you can't unsee what you've seen, okay? So if you look at this bathroom area here, this ensuite, neutral tiles, where possible, always go tiles to ceiling. It gives it that grandeur look, that wow look, and keep it quite neutral. Keep it quite neutral again. Some good natural light if you can get it. You've got your vanities. These are becoming very popular. They're very practical too, to make sure that you don't get water all over the place. Go for a double vanity in the ensuite if you can, and if you've got the space, right? So you've got your walk-in robes here. Again, quite spacious. Okay, and very, very practical, obviously. And if you look at something like this, now this is designed. Our video guy here is having a ball. You look at something like this. I actually wouldn't recommend something like this. Okay, this is built for an owner-occupier. Most tenants would get offended at something like this. Whilst you may like it and I may like it, you risk somebody that's going to pay top dollar rent coming in here and saying, "Oh, I don't like that," and then they'll go have a look at another house. So stay neutral so as to not offend anybody. If anybody wants to add colour to the property, do it through carefully chosen furniture and wall art and so forth. But try and keep your colours quite neutral, right? But again, the taste of the market in that area will dictate what you actually put together, all right? So this is quite spacious here. You've got plenty of cupboard space, and one of the complaints we get quite a bit actually is that a lot of houses people see don't have a lot of storage and cupboard space. So where you can, I think most would agree, the more cupboard space you have, the better. I'll open this up for you. All right. Usually I find these things full of clothes. So cupboard space, very, very good if you can get it in. And this is just very clever use of the wall cavity in this bedroom here. Again, more cupboard space over here. Our video guy's having a ball here. He's freaking out going, wow, this is awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Again, plenty of natural light, so pay very close attention to where you're actually building and what's around you. Really important. Heating, obviously, upstairs and downstairs. Okay, you've got the bracket area we've seen. Just simple bathroom here as well. If you have a look at this. I mean, they don't have to be big. If you've got an ensuite, your main bathroom doesn't have to be, from an investor's perspective, it doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be practical. People don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom. They come in to do what they've got to do and then they get out, okay? So make it practical, make it useful. Right? Okay, we'll go back downstairs. All right, so the main thing to keep in mind is don't go, take your own personal preference out of the picture. I know that's hard to do for us because we're all emotional beings, and what we like, we always think that everybody else likes. Not always the case, okay? Remember, as investors, we're here to make money, right? And create that wow factor, so when people come and rent your property, the first thing they should feel like when they come in is, wow, I actually want to live here, right? You've understood me as a tenant and as a buyer. You've understood what I want, Okay, you've given me a open space, you've given me an open plan, you've given me plenty of lighting. I mean, it's hard to not impress with a kitchen background like this, which we'll get to in a minute. All right, good. So again, sink, make sure you've got all your main appliances, range hood, oven, cooktop, dishwasher, stone bench tops, and this stuff isn't expensive anymore, right? The cost of materials and the cost of these products are not as expensive as they once were. Okay, prices have come down because competition's so fierce for a lot of these products, right? But so like going that extra distance here, you don't have to pay a fortune for it, all right? So something like this, you look at it and it looks quite luxurious, right? And this is the kind of thing you want to build, assuming you've listened to what your market has actually told you, okay? Look at your backyard space as an example, right? Now, I can tell you from surveying our public that the big backyard, unless you're living in the house and there's an owner occupier, but even the big, owner occupiers, the big backyard's now a thing of the past, okay? And I'll tell you why, because when you present an investment property with a big backyard, the first thing a tenant says to you is, well, who's going to mow the lawn, who's going to maintain it? And the reality is that no one's got the time to do this. So keep it very, very low maintenance, keep it very, very simple. Don't create too much work for your tenants, okay? They don't have the time. Okay, and if you're going to expect them to maintain and keep your backyard looking pristine and beautiful, they're not going to do it. You'll have to pay an additional cost to get somebody to do it, okay? So, again, I come back to just making sure you understand the taste of the market and the people that are renting in there, what they want. Understand their lifestyle. Understand how they operate. Understand what a day in their life looks like, right? Understand what they want to see in a property and find out what they'll pay above the odds for, right? We've had plenty of properties, mine personally, where tenants have actually paid above market price because I've built to their taste, okay? So very important that you get that right, because it will cost you money. And I'm an example of that. It will actually cost you money if you get that wrong. So listen, that's the key thing that I wanted you guys to get out of today. If you've got any questions, feel free to send them through. Happy buying, happy investing. Come and have a chat to us. We'll sit you down. These are the houses. This is the quality of housing that we actually build for our clients. Okay. Again, it gets good rent, and if and when you put it on the market later on, you'll have no problem selling something like this. But don't overcapitalize. Okay. Don't go too crazy on what you're putting into the property, because you'll find that you'll have the most expensive property in the area. Again, it's about doing your homework in the area. Have a look at what the median price is in the area. Have a look at the type of people that are living in there, what their disposable income is. Get an understanding of what they want to see in that area, and because people living in a Melbourne apartments and in that 2 to 5 kilometre radius, their tastes are different to people living in the outer suburbs, because usually when you're closer in, the houses are a little bit smaller. People sacrifice size for conveniency, so their tastes and the way that and what they want to see are different. Okay, so you've got to get that right, because if you don't, it will cost you, and unfortunately, you actually find out what it costs you when you want to go get a tenant or when you go put the property on the market. Okay, so thanks again for tuning in on this Tuesday. What is it, the 18th of September 2018. Send through any questions you've got. Love answering your questions. And we'll see you again next Tuesday at midday. Thanks, guys.